So I'm currently a senior who's feeling a lot of guilt and anxiety over the academic pathway they've unfairly taken since the start of high school. Essentially, at my high school, students usually take environmental science their freshman year, biology their sophomore year, and chemistry their junior year. The summer before my freshman year, my parents wanted me to take biology a year earlier than my peers, so they had me place out of environmental science. How my school's placement test works is that it consists of two parts: a multiple choice section and a free response section. To successfully pass the placement test and get credit for the course in question, you have to first pass the multiple choice portion and then the free response section. Now to prepare for this, I spent my entire summer before high school studying environmental science and doing multiple practice tests. When the school year rolled around, it was during COVID, so I took the placement test online on Zoom. As you would imagine, it was pretty easy to feel tempted to cheat. When I finally took the test, I realized that numerous multiple choice questions were actually copied from the practice tests I had done over the summer. I wasn't so sure of my answers to some questions that I knew for sure I had seen before, and I felt incredibly pressured to pass that portion of the test, since the test was online. I opened up the practice test and its answers on my computer, and then compared a few of my answers on the placement test to some questions on the answer key. Since it was during COVID and online, I wasn't caught obviously and was able to score really well on multiple choice portion and move onto the free response section. But by this time, I started feeling really guilty because I felt like I cheated and got something I didn't deserve. It was during COVID, and if I hadn't recognized that these placement questions were from previous practice tests and looked them up, I definitely wouldn't have passed. I didn't want to upset my parents, so I told myself that since I'd spent so much time preparing for this, I simply had to move on to the next section. The free response stuff was really easy for me, and I completed everything honestly and to the best of my ability. After I placed out of environmental science, I was able to take biology in freshman year, and I did really well in the class in sophomore year. I then took chemistry and did really well in that class as well. In junior year, I also did end up taking AP Environmental Science, if that seems to make up anything. I'm now a senior applying to several T20s, and I feel pretty guilty now because I felt that I gained an unfair advantage in cheating my way into taking slightly more advanced science courses in 9th and 10th grade. At the same time, I only gained an advantage with my courses with respect to my own school, as most high schools have students take biology and chemistry in those respective grades by default. My transcript does note that I successfully placed out of environmental science, and as I apply to college, I feel like I will be guilty if I get into a selective college, because I cheated my way into taking more advanced science classes than my peers in my first 2 years of high school. This did happen 3 years ago, and I'd say I'm a pretty high-achieving student with pretty competent stats and a strong work ethic. When it comes to college, I always see so many other people get into their dream schools and feeling deserving about their acceptance, but I don't know if I can have that same feeling with a clear conscience. I guess that's about it. The amount of guilt and anxiety I feel over this has low-key been holding me back on working on my college apps. I guess the main reason I feel this way is because even though I know I can't change the past, I'm afraid that this academic pathway I've been able to cheat my way into taking will be an unfair advantage in the college admissions process. Even though I know that's probably not the case. Dr. Cheated on a placement test during COVID 3 years ago, was able to take biology and chemistry a year ahead of my peers. Now feeling incredible guilt and anxiety over this situation giving me an unfair advantage in college admissions.